Yo, what's good, boys? It's y'all boy Sway, showcasing y'all how to make accents and phrases the right way. I did make a video in the past, but this is essentially a part 2, basically showcasing the exact same thing I did in part 1, but also giving you some extra sauce and tips and essentially a better way to do it. So let's just get right into it. So real quick, we're going to define what an accent and a phrase is. Now, an accent is usually like a small string or a stab of a melody, sort of something where like you add on top of a melody already. For example, for my cryptic drum kit, which is a free drum kit on my Discord, by the way, I got accents and phrases, and I'm gonna show you some accents in here. Whereas phrases can be loops, or they can be a small snippet of a melody. So for example, I've showcased my phrases. So that's essentially the difference between an accent and a phrase. Now I'm gonna show you how to make both. So let's just get right into it. So when it comes to making accents and phrases, you can literally use a one shot, a VST. You can literally use anything, of course. The main thing is just adding a lot of effects to it. Now you don't have to add a lot of effects to it. It depends what type you're gonna use. Like for example, I have these other accents. There's also a free version of analog called analog play if you guys want to use that. So I'm just gonna scroll down and probably use a pad or something. All right, this works. So first we're gonna make a phrase, and then I'm gonna show you how to make an accent out of that phrase. You could do a chord, you could do a string of chords, you can play a small melody. I could show you an example where you get a MIDI, control A, and then you see these arrows right here, and you just bring the arrows down. At least make it 1 bar or less. And that's also where you gotta tweak it, you know, remove some things. Now this is an accent here, but if you want to make a phrase, you can just extend it. There's a good amount of effects on it with the preset that I use. Now one thing for sure is I'm gonna put some soothe. I'm gonna put some portal on this and then just choose a random preset. All right, so I got that. I'm gonna consolidate that. Now to make an accent out of this phrase, you can essentially just make this shorter like this, put a tail to it. And what I like to add on accents is I like adding this FN Micro plugin, which is free. I'm assuming it's like Porter presets. And I like it on the first preset, the Infinity preset, and I put it just down and then put some reverb. And here you got it. That's essentially the whole accent. Want to break from the ads? All right, so let's actually make a trap one, because that was not a trap, that was just an example. Usually for trap, I always go for this with the same tension chords. It's C, G, and G sharp. What you could do also, I like adding 2 instruments, so I'll just duplicate this, clone this. All right, I'm gonna make a phrase first, so I might change this preset, to be honest. And then you could reverse this. Essentially here you got one phrase, but then again you can do the same thing to make an accent. Just make this shorter. See that? And you can bring it up. Now, of course, there are lots of ways you can do it. I was just being lazy and using Portal. Portal pretty much carries. What you can do also is run it through growth speed, of course. So give it that little stutter effect, kind of. Well, that's essentially it on how to make accents and phrases. There are lots of different ways you can do them, of course. For example, if you grab a one shot, so C, G, D, it's really just the effects that matters, guys. Go to Portal, go to Dex. This is from my free Sinister multi-kit, by the way, where it has a free Portal bank, accents, phrases, one shots, all that good stuff. All you gotta do is just literally export it. When it comes to exporting and file names and all that good stuff, the best way I do it is not by export here, because then you have those red lines and you have a loop. What you want to do is click on the file and then go to audio editor, and then from here you want to normalize it, make it louder, cut and trim the empty noise here. So you just click this button here, and then you right click and then you can title it whatever. I title it by accent dash, and then you can name it whatever. I'm gonna just name it Van parentheses 156 B minor. I don't really remember what key it was. I think it was an A minor or some shit, and then in brackets your name. You don't have to follow this exactly, of course, but this is just how I name him. And then you want to copy and put it in the file name again, and in the comments you want to put your @ preferably a IG handle, and then you want to click this tempo sync so it automatically time stretch when you drag into your DAW, and you click accept, and then you should see these bars here, and then all you gotta do is just save sample as, and then save it to wherever you want to save it to. Now the reason why you'd want to do this is because when you go on the files, you actually see here in the title who is it by and the actual name. So here you can see SwayFlow, you know. Now I actually made the mistake of forgetting to make sure you export it after you cut it. So this is exported right here, but essentially you're going to put more reverb so that there's some sound here and doesn't cut it. And from here you want to do the exact same thing. So I had it right here, and all you got to do is do the same thing. Boom. Without the loop regions. But yeah, that's essentially it. When you guys want to export it, make accents and phrases is the best way to do them. I personally have my sample rate at 4800. It's a little bit more crispy, but for my export settings. But for my format settings, I also have it at 32-bit float, which ensures to give it the highest quality possible. But that's essentially it. Hope you boys learned something new. When it comes to accents, there's lots of ways to make them. Don't just use Portal, use a lot of other effects. Try chopping it, try just doing all this good stuff. All I showed you was the basics. But yeah, that's essentially it. If you guys want a free drum kit with accents and phrases, and not just a drum kit but a free multi-kit with the Porta Bank samples and all this good stuff, there's gonna be a link down below in the description. For the drum kit, you gotta join my Discord, so it's free for you, you know, it's free for you, free for me, we both win. But yeah, essentially that's it. If you guys have any video suggestions, make sure you guys leave them down below. And yeah.